Aaron's ship moved silently through the cold void of space. No one noticed it. No one chased it. He didn't want attention, not yet. He had one goal now: Silent Ash, the last known location in his ship's hidden map. A name lost in history. No one in the galaxy remembered it, but something inside UN knew. His people might be there. 2 days into his journey, UN stopped near a trading port on the edge of the Draxan border, a place full of thieves, smugglers, and war veterans. He needed supplies. He walked quietly through the market. Jacket, hood up, calm eyes. But even here, whispers followed him. Hey, look at that one. He's not from around here. Too clean, too quiet. It's probably a spy. In ignored them, until he saw something that froze his blood. A toy, not alien, not metal, but soft, human-made, exactly like the ones from his orphanage. He picked it up. It had a name stitched on it: Tomi Earth Sector. Shopkeeper, where did this come from? The old alien laughed. Found it in scrap from the core worlds. You people had soft toys. It's weird stuff. Not good for fighting, you people? Ewan asked. Yeah, the humans, the alien shrugged. Extinct now. Good riddance. Ewan stared at him for a moment, then paid quietly and walked away. But something had changed in his eyes that night. In access to private terminal, using his hidden Earth tech, he hacked into the Galactic Trade Network, silently, smoothly. The system didn't even feel the breach. He traced the shipment records of Earth. Items. They were being sold in a private collector's vault on a nearby moon. The vault belonged to a wealthy alien family, the Varnock dynasty, famous for collecting trophies from conquered species. Anger burned in Aaron's chest. His people weren't trophies. 2 days later, the moon vault went dark. No one knew what happened. The guards were found unconscious. All Earth artifacts were gone. In their place was only a message, written on the main vault wall, glowing in red. These are not trophies. These are graves. Last child of Earth. A message spread fast, across the black markets, across bounty hunter networks, even inside quiet government channels. The name began to appear everywhere. The last child of Earth. No one knew who he was. Some said it was a ghost. Some said it was a myth. But everyone agreed on one thing: he was real. He was angry. Back on his ship, Oon stared at the stolen items, books, toys, photos, a broken piece of wall with names carved into it, names of children from the orphanage. He found his own name. At the very bottom, in room 6B, his hands shook. Memories flashed. A laughing girl, a boy with missing teeth, a robot reading bedtime stories. All dead now. No. Forgotten, that was worse. As he reached Silent Ash, didn't find a colony. He found a hidden station, floating between dead asteroids. No power, no life signs, but inside, pods, thousands of them. Cryo-sleep chambers, humans, children, adults, scientists, soldiers. Frozen, hidden, sleeping for decades. His chip unlocked the system. A single message played. Project Ember, humanity is not dead. Just waiting. If you are human, wake us. But Oon didn't wake them. Not yet. He stared at them through the glass. I'm not ready. You're not safe yet. He sealed the station again, protected it with cloaking shields, marked its location. In his mind, back on the galactic capital. Whispers reached Captain Velik. Now under surveillance in his home, he read the reports. A vault broken, a message left, a human child, maybe alive. He stood by his window, staring at the stars. They lied to us, he whispered. They killed the innocent. In a far room of his ship, Oon turned on an old audio file. A song. Soft, human. A lullaby. His own voice sang it once, long ago, as a child. The sound filled the ship. Outside, the stars shimmered, and in the dark, the galaxy began to feel something it hadn't in decades. Fear, not of war, not of weapons, but of a memory they couldn't erase. Oon sat alone in his ship, the lights dim. The ship hummed quietly, flying toward a forgotten part of space. No name, no light, no map. But Yuan knew where he was going. His chip had revealed something new, a signal beacon. Hidden deep in a rogue planet, a planet not orbiting any star. Drifting alone in darkness, the name burned across his screen. Protocol X. Ember Core. Human defensive system locked. Un didn't know what it was, but he knew it belonged to Earth, and it had slept. Like the rest of his people. Now, he was going to wake it up. The rogue planet was made of black stone, floating in endless night. No light touched it. No sun warmed it. The silence felt alive. ERE landed in a valley of sharp rocks. Ship scanners didn't work here. Something was jamming them. As he stepped outside, his breath turned cold. Even inside his suit, he felt watched. Then he saw it. A massive door. Half buried in the rock. Human markings. Old paint. A hand symbol. Yuan placed his hand on the door. It scanned him. A female voice whispered from inside the stone. Earth's genetic code found. Welcome. Back. Commander, the door opened. Inside was a tunnel. Lights flickered on, one by one. Dust filled the air. The deeper he walked, the more he saw. Human armor suits, stored in glass. Long-dead soldiers frozen in cryopods. Empty labs. Silence at. The center was a round room with a glass floor. Below it, a giant sphere of energy, pulsed slowly, alive, waiting. A control panel activated. Ember Core, humanity's last weapon. Status dormant. Un stared in shock. This wasn't a gun, wasn't a missile. It was a living AI defense brain designed to control satellites, drones, war tech, and defense ships across Earth's old system. It had gone silent after the bombing. But now, it had a heartbeat. As a chair rose from the floor, the soft lights wrapped around him. Sit, Commander, system said. EREN sat down. The machine connected to his chip. Memories flooded the room. The orphanage. Caretaker 9, the bombing, the vault, Silent Ash, everything. Then a new file unlocked. Project Ember, final phase. If Earth is destroyed, hide the children. If the children survive, protect them, if even one returns. Wait for. Them UN stared at the screen. It gave him one question. Do you wish to activate defense protocol? He didn't speak. He only pressed yes, far away, across dead parts of the galaxy. Old machines woke up. Satellites buried under Martian dust lifted into orbit. Stealth drones powered up above. Earth's ruins, an abandoned fleet hidden in Saturn's. Rings turned its engines back on, and deep beneath the old Eurasian crust. Something opened its eyes. Earth tech. Old, forgotten, angry. The galaxy didn't see it coming. 1 week later, a Galactic Alliance patrol ship near Jupiter vanished. No message. No escape pods. 2 days after that, an automated weapons factory on Titan exploded. No signs of attackers. Only this message left behind, Earth remembers. The name Last Child of Earth was now spoken in fear. Some said he was one. Man. Others believed it was a group. One general whispered, maybe humanity never died. Right. Maybe it just waited to be heard enough. Back in the core room, Un looked. At the map, red dots lit up across the system. Defense systems online. Silent satellites whispering to him. He didn't want war, but he couldn't stay silent. The galaxy had to remember what it erased. Meanwhile, Captain Velik broke into an old communication room inside a hidden rebel base. He called a private channel encrypted. Legal. A familiar robotic voice replied, Caretaker-9. Double quotes, you were right, Velik said. He's alive, and now, Earth is breathing again, Caretaker replied. Then they will finally feel what they gave. In a shadowy council room on the galactic capital, the leaders met. Who is this child? One alien shouted. He's using forbidden Earth tech, said another. A hooded figure whispered. No, he is Earth tech. The council fell silent. Back in the rogue planet's core, UN stared into the glass. The AI spoke softly. You are not alone? Would you like to wake your brothers and sisters? Yoon shook his head. Not yet. He looked out at the stars. First, they need to hear our name again. He uploaded a message into the system, one that would play across every channel in the galaxy. It was only one line. My name is UN. I am from Earth, and I am not the last. The galaxy couldn't look away. The message was short, but it shook every planet, every newsfeed, every powerful throne. My name is UN. I am from Earth, and I am not the last. The Galactic Alliance scrambled to hide it, but it was too late. It had already gone viral. People whispered in mining colonies, war zones, luxury ships, slums, data markets. Earth is back. I thought humans were extinct. Did we miss one, or more? Some laughed, some feared, but a few remembered. Long ago, humans weren't just fighters. They were creators, builders, monsters, and angels in the same body. And if even one survived, it meant their legacy did too. In the shadows of an old asteroid belt, on a broken supply ship, someone else heard the message. A girl, rough clothes, dirty face, fierce eyes. Her name was Lyra. She was 20 now, but she still had the same dream every night. Fire, screams, running, just like UN. But she had escaped not in a pod, but in a box meant for supply trash. She had been just 5 years old when the bombs fell. An old smuggler found her days later. He raised her in silence, trained her to survive, but he died 5 years ago. And since then, Lyra lived on her own. Number. Name, no papers, no questions, until she heard Aaron's voice. Her heart stopped. I know that voice, she whispered. It's room 6B. She opened a small metal chain around her neck. Inside was a picture. 5 kids, 1 robot. One boy smiling wide. Aaron, tears filled her eyes. I knew you were out there. Or away. Yuan sat in silence aboard his ship, watching the galaxy react. He knew the Alliance would send scouts. Bounty hunters, spies good. Let them come, he needed. The attention to find others like him. 2 days later, it worked. He intercepted a pirate radio message from the Outer Rim. Someone claimed they had Earthborn genes. Wanted to meet, secretly. Ewan checked the code. It matched the old Orphanage encryption. Was it real? He had to find out. He traveled to a dust world. Kiron-7. Desert heat. Rusted metal cities. He walked through markets where people avoided eye contact. Fear ruled here. At a quiet bar near the edge of the settlement, found her Lyra. They locked eyes. Aaron's hand went for his weapon. So did hers, until she slowly opened her hand. Revealing the photo, their photo, she whispered, Room 6B. Right. Ian didn't speak for a moment. Then, Lyra. She nodded, and for the first time in years, Ian smiled. That night, they sat under the twin moons. No words, just memories. Then finally, Lyra said, How many do you think are left? Yuan looked at the stars. I don't know, but I won't stop until I find them all. Lyra grinned. Good. I was getting bored. Across the galaxy, the word was spreading. They called it the Spark. A human ship attacked a black market slave caravan, freed all prisoners, then vanished. A rogue AI satellite reactivated and blocked a military drone swarm. A young hacker claimed she received a data signal. In ancient Earth, code. The galaxy didn't understand it yet, but a fire had started, and it was catching fast. The Galactic Council met in panic. 2 humans, possibly more. Activating Earth tech, one admiral growled. We should have burned. The roots. An older alien leader stood up. You didn't burn the roots, he said. You watered them, with blood. Back in orbit, UN and Lyra worked side by side. They rebuilt old maps, traced the path of Orphanage escape pods, looked for signals in dead zones, and then one showed up, a weak beacon, very old, buried inside a gas giant's storm system. Code. Unit C9 Eurasia Home, last known, Myri 11. Caretaker-9, the one who saved them. Lyra's eyes lit up. He's still out there? Nodded. He's the last piece. They set a course. But they didn't see the small black drone hiding under their ship's hull, recording everything, sending it back to the Alliance. The gas giant Myra 11 spun in silence. Its storms were legendary winds, faster than sound, lightning brighter than stars. Nothing survived inside, but somewhere in its deep red clouds, a beacon pulsed, old, weak, human, and UN was going in. "Are you sure it's him?" Lyra asked, tightening her harness. UN nodded. "Caretaker Nin's ID code." "He's inside." She glanced at the swirling planet below, or what's left of him. Their small ship entered the Stormgnat. Metal groaned. Lights flickered. Pressure pushed in. But the ship was built with old Earth tech, strong, smart, silent. It dove into the storm like a ghost. Inside, the clouds parted just for a moment, and there it was, a small floating station, wrapped in black shields, hovering. Inside the Chaos Eurasia Unit C9, still alive, still waiting, the ship docked, Ear and Lyra stepped inside. Dust, silence, cold air. The station looked like it hadn't moved in decades. Then, soft chime. A door opened, and there he stood. Caretaker-9, same height, same shape, same glowing eyes, but older now. His body was scratched.
Guys.
Voice deeper. His arms slightly shaking. He turned slowly. Scanned Un then Lyra. "Children." Aaron's voice cracked. "You remember us?" "I remember all of you," Caretaker said softly. Counted the stars every night. Waiting. He stepped forward. Then he knelt. "You survived." The three sat together in the command room. Caretaker explained everything. "After the bombing, I activated escape pods. Only 7 were launched. You too, I tracked. Then I lost contact. I hid here to avoid the enemy's scan nets, and I waited. I told myself if even one of you returned, I would rise again." Lyra asked. "Why did they destroy us? We were just kids." Caretaker paused, then answered, "Because Earth scared them. Not our power, not our ships, but our will, even as orphans. You never stopped dreaming. That's what they feared." Then UN asked the hardest question. "How many made it?" Caretaker stood, walked to a panel, tapped in a code. A screen showed photos, children, names, ages, only. Dot. For survivors confirmed, UN Lyra, a boy named Keo, status unknown, and one more. Lyra leaned in. Myra, a photo of a girl, black hair, small smile. Caretaker said, "She was taken before the bombing, secretly, sold." Aaron's jaw tightened. "To who?" Caretaker's eyes glowed. Project Remnant. A secret program run by high-level Alliance officers. They didn't just bomb Earth. They stole its children, to study them, to control them. Silence. Then Lyra stood up, fists clenched. "We have to find her." UN nodded. "We will." "And if they touched her, they did," Caretaker interrupted. "I've seen the files." He uploaded a hologram. It showed a girl in a lab, wires on her head, guards around her, but her eyes, alive. Unbroken. Myra reached out. The hologram shimmered in his palm. She had survived, but she was still not free. Caretaker-9 turned to them both. "I stayed in this storm for 20 years now. I will follow you." UN smiled. "You were never just a machine." Caretaker looked up. "I wasn't made to fight. I was made to love." His metal hand reached out, "And now I will protect." As they left the storm, the galaxy changed again. A rogue signal from Myra 11 pulsed across the stars. The machine has awakened. Humanity is not done. C9 the Alliance saw it, and panicked. In a secure command ship, a group of high officers met in silence. One of them, a thin alien in gold armor, spoke, "Activate the hunters." Another general frowned. "Are you sure? They're finding the lost ones. We can't let them reach the girl." Back in their ship, Yuan sat alone, looking at the stars. Lyra came beside him. "We're close now," she said. He nodded, double quotes. "Than ever?" she asked. "What if Myra's changed?" Un looked away. "Then we change the galaxy."
Oh, yeah.
But far in the dark corners of space, A girl sat in a locked room, staring at the stars through metal bars. She heard the signal from Myri 11. Her lips curved into a small, soft smile, and she whispered, UN. I knew you'd come. In the cold silence of deep space, a small galactic patrol ship floated near the edge of a forgotten sector. This sector had no name now. On the map, it was only marked in red, Class Z destroyed. Everyone knew what that meant. Earth once. Full of life. Now just dust. Captain Velek sat in his command chair, bored and half asleep. He had done this patrol route many times. Nothing ever happened here. Space was quiet. Dead. Then something strange blinked on his screen. A signal. Old. Weak. Human. Velek sat up straight. Computer, confirm origin, he ordered. The AI replied, signal is human-made. Origin point. Planet Earth. Estimated date. 73 years ago. His heart skipped. Earth was bombed by the Galactic Alliance 73 years ago. No one survived. No one should have survived. Play the signal, he said. A sound filled the room. Static at first. Then a child's voice. Help us. Please, they're coming. We're still here. We're still here. ... Then silence. Velek stared at the screen. The signal was looping, repeating every hour. But how? Earth was turned to ash. This couldn't be real. He sent a private message to Central Command. No reply. He waited. Still nothing. They were ignoring him. He made a decision. Set course. Planet Earth. Moved through the dark toward the dead. World Earth looked like a broken glass ball. Black, burned, lifeless. Clouds of dust still floated around the planet. No signs of power, cities, or humans. Just silence. But the signal was real. Velek followed it down to an old region once called Eurasia. His scanners picked up a structure, mostly buried under rubble, but still standing. It was an orphanage. He landed his ship quietly and stepped out in his armor. The air was thin. The ground was gray and cold. Inside the orphanage, everything was frozen in time, toys covered in dust. Walls burned. A small bed with a teddy bear still holding a child's hand. Now only bones. Velek felt a strange pain in his chest. He had seen war. He had seen death. But this was different. He moved deeper inside, and then he heard it. A humming sound. Mechanical. Alive. Who's there? He shouted, drawing his plasma blade. No answer. Only the humming got louder. From the shadows a blue light appeared. A robot. Old, rusted, but still active. It looked at Velek with glowing eyes. I am Caretaker 9, it said. You are not welcome. I received the signal, Velek said. The children's cry? I came to find the truth. There is no truth for your kind, the robot replied. Velek stepped forward. What happened here? Why was the signal still active? Caretaker 9 didn't move. Its voice was low. You bombed us. Said Earth was dangerous. But the truth is, you were afraid, not of weapons, but of what the children knew. Velek froze. What do you mean the children were gifted? They learned to fast, felt too deeply. They saw things. The stars, the future, the hearts of men. The Alliance feared them. Caretaker pointed to the wall behind him. A drawing. Made by a child was there, still bright, untouched by time. Showed alien faces, ships, and Earth burning. They saw this. Before it happened, Velek's voice was shaking. But the bombing, it was a military decision. Earth was hostile. No, the robot said. Earth was kind, curious, too human. That's what scared them. A pause. Did anyone survive? Velek asked. Caretaker's eyes glowed brighter. One did. Velek gasped. Who? Where? That is not for you to know, Caretaker said. Not yet. Suddenly the signal stopped. No more crying. No more voice. Just silence. Velek looked at the drawing again. Child had written a message under it. We remember everything. He returned to his ship, thoughts racing. The galaxy believed Earth was gone, but the past was not dead. It was alive, waiting. Watching as he took off, Caretaker 9 whispered one last message through the comm. You will regret what was done here. And soon, the galaxy will too. In a far corner of the galaxy, deep inside the Marin Cloud Nebula, a small mining station floated quietly. No one paid attention to it. It was old, forgotten, just a place for scrap traders and broken people. But inside this quiet place lived a mystery. A boy, or at least that's what they thought he was. He had no name when they found him. Only an escape pod. Frozen, unconscious, his tiny hands holding a small metal cube. Glowing with blue light, the miners gave him a name. In. They never knew where he came from. His pod had no records, no ID, just one symbol burned on the outside. HOME, Earth Orphanage, Eurasia Sector, but no one remembered Earth anymore. No one even said the name, so they just called him the Nebula Kid. Years passed. Un grew up different. He spoke less. He read more. By the age of 7, he was fixing machines faster than engineers. By 10, he built a small robot that could speak 5 languages. But there was something else, something strange. He had dreams, strange dreams, of fire, screams, a sky full of alien ships, a tall man holding his hand telling him to run. Sometimes he woke up crying. Sometimes he woke up angry. One day, while cleaning an old storage room, UN found a sealed box. Inside it was the same cube he held as a baby, the one that glowed. He touched it again. Clicked, a voice echoed in his mind. If you are hearing this, you are the last. It was robotic, but soft, calm. Your name is UN. You were born on Earth. You lived at the home orphanage. I am Caretaker 9. I protected you. You are not alone. UN froze. He whispered the word. Slowly, Earth. More memories came back. Bright skies, laughter, a robot reading bedtime stories, a group of children singing, then the bombing, the fire, the screaming. He fell to his knees. The cube continued. It destroyed us. But you, UN, are different. You are the key. If you carry the memory of humanity, you carry our revenge. The cube opened. Inside was a small chip and a folded paper. The chip contained data, old Earth code, blueprints, files, languages, and something called Project Ember. The paper, a drawing. 5 children, smiling, holding hands, and a robot in the middle with glowing blue eyes. Under the picture were words written in a child's handwriting. We'll find each other. Even in the stars. Un stared at it for a long time. That night, he didn't sleep. In the following days, Un changed. He worked quietly, secretly. He modified the station's computers, rebuilt lost Earth code, studied ancient star maps he found. The ruins of Earth, still marked red. But more importantly, he found something else. A hidden colony far outside galactic borders, a place labeled only as Silent Ash. And in the secret data from the chip, a message, Project Ember activated, awaiting command. Humanity sleeps. Humanity sleeps. He needed answers. On his 18th birthday, Un left the station. No one saw him go. He stole a small ship and vanished into the stars. But before leaving, he left behind a single message on the minor station's computer. Thank you for saving me. But now I must find my family. My real family. The ones the galaxy forgot. Meanwhile, back on the capital world of the Galactic Alliance, Captain Velik sat alone in a prison cell. He had broken orders, entered the Forbidden Zone. A hostile AI. His career was over. But that night, something strange happened. His datapad blinked. A message appeared from an unknown source. Only 3 words. He is awake. Velik's eyes widened. He knew exactly who he was. Far away in the dark of space, a young man stared out from his stolen ship. His eyes were full of pain. Fire, UN whispered to himself. Earth was never dead. It was just waiting. He pressed a button. The ship jumped into hyperspace. The stars watched in silence. The last child of Earth was coming home. In the cold silence of Sector 9, hidden behind 3 moons and guarded by warships, sat Facility Remnant. From the outside, it looked like a research base. Inside, it was a prison for something the galaxy didn't want the world to see her, Mira. Sat in a white room, no windows, no clocks, only the hum of machines. Every day, they asked her questions. Every day, they tested her memory. Every day, they tried to break her, but they couldn't. She remembered the orphanage, the metal floor. The book's caretaker read. Aaron's voice, Lyra's laugh. Those memories were her shield, and now the shield glowed because she had heard the signal. The machine has awakened. Humanity is not done. Un was alive. He was coming. The scientists didn't notice. Her small smile. They thought they owned her. They were wrong. She was only waiting for the right moment to fight. Far away, UN Lyra. And Caretaker 9 stood over a large table inside their ship, a 3D map floated above it showing the location of Facility Remnant. 3 entry points, Lyra said. All heavily guarded. No weakness? Yoon asked. Not outside, Caretaker said. But there may be one inside. He tapped the screen. A name appeared. Dr. Ven Karos, Chief Genetic Researcher, Human, Ex-Earth Ambassador. Now working for the enemy, he built the Remnant program, Caretaker explained. He knows everything, including where Mira is kept. Aaron's eyes narrowed. Then we find him. To get close to Dr. Karos, they needed a disguise. They flew to a shady black market planet called BRISCA-4. Here, anything could be bought: IDs, weapons, DNA cloaks, ship codes, but it came with danger. Inside a smoke-filled bar, and met a hooded figure. The contact handed over a forged clearance pass, made to look like high-level Alliance access. Be careful, the figure whispered. People are watching your name now. Didn't reply, but someone else in the shadows heard everything. A woman. Pale skin, robotic eye. She touched her cum and said, "Target found." Tracking. The next day, Aaron's ship reached the outer gates of Facility Remnant. It flew under a fake identity inspection. Team from Alliance Command. The guards scanned the ship. Tension filled the cockpit. Then approved they were in. Inside the base, they wore gray uniforms. Cold hallways. Security cameras. Silence. But they walked with confidence. They made it to Lab Sector 4, and there he was. Dr. Ven. Karos, old, bald, thin, tired eyes. He turned shocked to see UN. Yeah, you're from Earth, Un said coldly. Karos backed away. Wait, you don't understand. I didn't bomb the orphanage. I tried to stop it. UN grabbed him. Where's Mira? Karos hesitated, then nodded toward a door at the far end of the lab. She's alive, but they're preparing her for transfer to a memory wipe facility. Today, Aaron's blood went cold. We're out of time, he said. But just as they turned to leave, boom, an explosion rocked the hallway. Red lights, sirens, shouting, Caretaker-9 turned his head. We've been found. On the screens, black armored soldiers flooded the corridors. They weren't regular troops. They were hunters. Elite killers trained to wipe out rogue humans. UN pushed Karos. Get Myra out. Use the vents. Hide her. Karos nodded and ran. Caretaker. And Lyra took positions at the door. Laser blasts lit up the hallway. Smoke. Screams. Sparks. Caretakers. Arms transformed into shields and weapons, blocking fire, hitting back. Lyra moved fast, throwing EMP grenades, clearing the way. But more kept coming. We can't hold this. She shouted. Yen tapped into the base's comm system and broadcast one simple message. To anyone in this facility who still believes in Earth, now is the time to choose. Some guards hesitated. Some even turned their guns against the hunters. Old. Loyalties burned brighter than fear. The base fell into chaos. Meanwhile, Mira ran through the vents. Dr. Karos helped her escape, but he was hit by a blast in the hallway. Mira crawled out into a storage bay, and standing there was Lyra. Both froze then, Lyra smiled. About time you showed up. Mira ran forward and hugged her, tears relief. Home.ere met them at the ship. More soldiers chased them. Caretaker 9 held the doors as long as he could, but one hunter fired a missile directly at him. Boom. Dust. Silence. The ship escaped. But as they flew away, Lyra screamed, "Where's Caretaker?" Ewan stood still, watching the fire below. He stayed. They were safe, but not whole. Mira looked out the window, whispering, "He saved me again." Nodded. Now we save them. All back at the ruins of the base. Smoke.metal. And then a hand pushed up from the rubble, still glowing, still alive. Caretaker-9. Broken, but not done. The stars were silent, but something new stirred in the galaxy. A signal, a name, Earth. Whispers turned to fear. Fear turned to hope, and now hope was turning into war. Yuan, Lyra, and Mira stood inside a hidden station built from old Earth tech, floating in neutral space, unregistered, untouchable. Behind them, screens lit up with every camera, every broadcast node, every backdoor frequency. Caretaker 9, damaged but still alive, stood connected to the system. This was their last chance. Their final message to the galaxy.ere turned to Myra. "Are you ready?" She nodded. "We show them the truth. No more lies." Caretaker's voice echoed, low and steady. "The moment I press this, every eye in the galaxy will be watching." Lyra grinned. "Let's give them something they'll never forget." Broadcast begins. The screen flickers, then shows a boy's face, then his voice steady, eyes burning. "Born on Earth, you were told we were extinct, that we were dangerous, that we were destroyed. But you were lied to." Behind him, images play. The orphanage burning, children running, the galactic fleet bombing the surface. Scientists experimenting on kids. Then Mira's voice joins his. "We were taken, tortured. Not because we were dangerous, but because we were different, because we had something the galaxy couldn't control, a human heart." Then the camera pans to Caretaker-9. Damaged, glowing, his voice deep and slow. "They called me a machine. But I protected children better than any government. Am proof that love is not limited by metal, and that humanity was never truly gone." Then Lyra steps forward, placing an old Earth badge on the table. "It's time. The last spark of Earth is here. Stand with us, or stay silent forever." And the message ends, but its impact explodes. Across the galaxy, miners stop working. Soldiers freeze, watching in secret. Once in Earth allies, once in hiding, send coded replies. The symbol of Earth appears in rebel graffiti. Even a few ships changed sides, but not everyone was silent. The Alliance responded, with a fleet, massive, dark, ruthless, headed straight for the broadcast station. They weren't coming to talk. They came to erase. Inside the station, alarms blared. Caretaker-9 turned to the crew. Estimated arrival, 12 minutes. UN looked at the screen. Hundreds of warships. They couldn't win in a fight, but they didn't come to fight. They came to light a fire. "Broadcast again," UN said. Caretaker blinked. "We just did." "Then do it again, and again, and again." Lyra activated the ship's shield grid. Mira coded a second frequency to send messages directly to children's devices across the galaxy. Caretaker boosted the signal one last time. And just as the Alliance fleet arrived, the stars began to answer. One by one, old ships blinked into view. Tiny, outdated, civilian. But behind them came more and more. Resistance. Ships from forgotten colonies. Earth's old allies. Rebel freighters. In fleets waiting 20 years. In silence, they came not to win, but to stand. The Alliance fleet opened. "Come shut the broadcast down now, or be erased." UN stood, calm. "You already erased us once. We're still here." They fired, missiles, plasma, EMPs. The station shook. Lyra held the shields. Mira rerouted the systems. Caretaker 9 took direct control of defense drones, intercepting fire with his own body. The station groaned, but the signal kept going. Caretakers. Systems burned, his voice slowed. I was built to care. I do. Goodbye, children. His core exploded, not in destruction, but in a signal burst. The strongest one yet. Across the stars. Every screen lit up. A final image. Earth. Before the bombs. Oceans, trees, laughter, sky, and one final line of text. Humanity was not a mistake. It was a beginning. Then Silence. The station burned. The ships retreated. But the signal had already done its job. The galaxy had seen, and could never unsee. Months later, Lyra and Ewan stood on a quiet moon, looking out at a new base being built. Flags flew, not of the Alliance, but of Earth reborn. People were coming not to conquer, but to remember, to rebuild. Lyra looked at the stars. Do you think they'll try again? Yuan shook his head. They had their chance. Now, it's ours. Mira smiled. Earth didn't die. It scattered, and now it was coming back, one star at a time.